There are a lot of things happening in Nigeria, really. First of all, these are the things we are going to discuss today. Nnamdi Kanu refused to drop Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. So, Nnamdi Kanu said that he will not drop Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. That is to say that there have been a lot of pressure on him for him to drop Biafra agitation, according to this headline. Now, Tinubu under pressure to let Nnamdi Kanu go. There have been a lot of pressures, there is no doubt about that, for Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. But I believe that this thing has a right hand and a left hand. So there have been a pressure from the right hand to release Nnamdi Kanu. And I think there are also some pressure or some, things at the left hand that is making sure that this man will not be removed. Now, Showore called for nationwide protests. Showore said that this is the time for Nigeria to rise up for revolution. He said this during the anniversary of a revolution now. We are going to come into that later. And lastly, this is the fourth thing that we are going to discuss today. Nigeria government looks forward to September to withdraw Nnamdi Kanu case. So these are the four things we are going to discuss today. Number one, Nnamdi Kanu refused to drop Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. Tinubu under pressure to let Nnamdi Kanu go. The third one is that Showore calls for nationwide protest, demands for revolution at this moment of time we are in Nigeria. And the last thing we are going to discuss there is that the Nigerian government looks forward to September to withdraw Nnamdi Kanu case. You know that the court adjourned the case between the federal government and Nnamdi Kanu to September for another hearing. So the federal government, they are looking forward to that September to withdraw Nnamdi Kanu case. But before that, let's see how things are going to go. So the first on the list here that we are going to discuss is that Nnamdi Kanu refused to drop the Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. Time without number, I know that it will come to, to this extent. That time will come that they will ask Nnamdi Kanu to drop Biafra agitation. But anyone telling Nnamdi Kanu to drop Biafra agitation as a condition for his release, the person is making a very big mistake, The person is making a very big mistake. How can you tell Nnamdi Kanu to drop Biafra agitation as a condition for his release, of which you know that he's not going to, succumb to that agreement? And secondly, who told them that Nnamdi Kanu is only one, agitating for the separate state of the Biafra people? Absolutely, it's not Nnamdi Kanu. So these are the things that the federal government don't understand, because if they understand what is going on, I don't think they will put a condition to Nnamdi Kanu release by telling him that you have to drop Biafra agitation. If you drop Biafra agitation, we'll leave you on condition, and you can even join Nigerian politics. You can even contest for governor. You can even contest for this. It's not Nnamdi Kanu. You come out and begin to tell all those ones now. Come on. So they are supposed to understand someone they are talking to, that it's not Nnamdi Kanu you ask to drop Biafra agitation because you want to let him go. It doesn't make sense at all. So as we discuss these four things here, I really want you to write your opinion in the comment section as we discuss further. And also there is a WhatsApp number here. It's a WhatsApp call only. So you call in and let us know what you think about this issue. So the four issues we are discussing, in case you are just joining now, is that the federal government of Nigeria wants Nnamdi Kanu to drop the Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. Then the second thing there is that Tinubu said he's under pressure to let Nnamdi Kanu go. Then the third thing we are discussing tonight is that Showore calls for nationwide protests, demand for a revolution, a political and social revolution. He said that the time is now. He said this during the 5th anniversary of Revolution Now agitation. Then the last on the list there, that the federal government looks forward to September to withdraw Nnamdi Kanu case. So as I said earlier, September is the date of the adjournment where the Federal High Court adjourned the case to the next hearing of the case between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. So we are starting with Nnamdi Kanu refusing to drop the Biafra agitation as a condition for his release. There is no one in Nigeria that we believe that Nnamdi Kanu is a sole agitator of Biafra. These people are supposed to understand that before Nnamdi Kanu was born, I think Nnamdi Kanu was born in 1960s, if not 70s. So before Nnamdi Kanu was born, there have been agitation for Biafra. There has been a country or state called Bight of Biafra. There have been a region called Bight of Biafra. So anyone who is telling Nnamdi Kanu you need to drop Biafra agitation, if you do not drop Biafra agitation, there is no freedom for you. The person is making a big mistake, and it is not going to work. This is what they know. It is not going to work at all. So there have been a lot of people who are agitating in Nigeria. Now I know the reason why so many of them just dropped the Biafra agitation or the kind of agitation they are doing. Right from that time, people were agitating for Niger Delta Republic. There were a lot of people who were agitating for Niger Delta Republic. They were so serious. They were arrested. I think this was the agreement they had with the federal government to drop the agitation, and they will let them go. Then Asari Dokubo, Asari Dokubo was someone who was agitating for the sovereign state of Biafra. He was agitating so seriously. Asari Dokubo was so furious. He was carrying arms that time. But what happened? After he was arrested, he had an agreement with the federal government. The next thing you see is that he joined politics. He stopped talking about the Biafra agitation. So this time around, these people are telling Nnamdi Kanu, it is time for you to drop Biafra agitation. So if you drop Biafra agitation, we are going to let you go. So that is the situation over here. What do you think about that? Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu is the kind of person that will drop Biafra agitation? Of which I know that he is not going to do that. There is no one, I don't think there's anyone on earth that can convince that man to drop Biafra agitation, because this thing is something that has developed in him. I used to tell people always that when Nnamdi Kanu started Biafra agitation, that I was following him. First of all, he did not start agitation that Nigeria should separate when he started. He started by asking questions that why is Nigeria not restructured? That Nigeria expired according to the agreement they had during the time of amalgamation. After 100 years, they will have a new reunion. That Nigeria expires in 2014. He was just trying to talk things. That why is it that Southeasterners don't have a C-state? Other regions have C-state. Why is it that we don't have enough bridge in the Southeast? Why is it that we don't have seaport in the Southeast? These were his agitation, the basis of his agitation, where he started, agitating that the federal government should do the right thing and so on and so forth. And after that, what we begin to see was the federal government misunderstood him, and not Jonathan really, because Jonathan understood. Jonathan knew what Nnamdi Kanu was agitating was the right thing. What Goodluck Jonathan did, even though people said Goodluck Jonathan caused everything we are seeing in Nigeria by, giving power to Buhari. But what Jonathan did was right. Jonathan called a national conference. That time, Nnamdi Kanu had started Radio Biafra. Jonathan called a national conference. You know what Jonathan did? He said, let everybody, every ethnicity, people should come to Abuja. Let us discuss about this country. So people came together. What they discussed up to today, they did not put it into action. Just like what they did in Ghana during Aburi Accord. When they have discussed everything at the end, they did not use what they discussed to work. This is not fair. It's not good at all. So that is the situation why people continue to agitate, because we don't have a listening government. And right now, Nnamdi Kanu, after he was arrested for the very first time, he was released. He's made a statement. He said, we have gotten to the point of no return. So this agitation has developed to that point. And this is the moment now the federal government started negotiating with him. They started telling him, drop Biafra agitation for your unconditional release. So that made me to understand that people who has been dropping their agitation right from time, it is because the federal government want them to drop it. So now I'm understanding what is going on now. So it is because federal government asked them to drop the agitation. That was why they dropped it. Right from the time they withdraw the case of Sunday Igbo. Sunday Igbo is a good man. He was fighting for his people. But right from the time they withdrew his case, I have never heard anything that Yoruba agitation from him again. He went silent. The same thing happened to Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo, when he was released, they told him the reason why we release you is because we have an agreement. So we don't want you to agitate for all these things you're agitating for Biafra and so on and so forth, or for Niger Delta Republic. Asari Dokubo dropped his agitation. So Nnamdi Kanu is the one now they are telling, you must drop the Biafra agitation. You must drop the Biafra agitation for your unconditional release. So on my live broadcast, I was talking about how Ejimako was furious with Southeast politicians, those who are going there to, talk things that are contrary to the law or to the case that is ongoing. It is now I am understanding why Ejimako was so furious. against them. Because you cannot start negotiating that Nnamdi Kanu should drop his Biafra agitation for his unconditional release. It is not going to work. Because even though Nnamdi Kanu dropped the Biafra agitation, other people will continue to agitate. So is it not the same thing? Absolutely is the same thing. So what I was expecting the federal government to do is that they're supposed to address the issue of this agitation. They're supposed to address it. Maybe they will do it 50-50. Okay, since you people are agitating for your sovereign state, let us do it in this way. You people should take your region. Every country should go back to regions. Let's see whether that will work. I thought that is what the federal government should be talking about now, not drop Biafra agitation for your unconditional release. So if I am the position, I don't think I will really do that. I don't think I will really do that at all. So that is the situation. Let me